I'm just here so I won't get fined.
We're getting ready for Cincinnati.
That's a W. Let's eat one. Let's eat one. That's a W. How many of you want to eat a W tonight?
Watson runs up the middle. Gimpy or not, there he goes.
Carr out of the shotgun. Looks left. Throws a lob for Michael Crabtree. Caught it.
I'm not fucking going 7-9.
Jones inside the 40, inside the 30, inside the 20, to the 10-yard line. Taiwan Jones.
Pass is caught. Cooper. Touchdown.
180. 580. 387.
This podcast was sponsored by Elevated Communications LLC, a company that manages Verizon wireless stores. Right now, go see them at 13513 University Boulevard, Sugar Land, Texas 77479 for great service that has you covered. Go right now and tell them 3EDIOTS podcast sent you, and you will get 10% off accessories.
All right, welcome back to the week 2 episode of the 3EDIOTS podcast.
Welcome.
I here with Naqeeb, obviously, and Zain. Imaad is a little bitch and couldn't come today, so I hope he understands that. But we do have Numair. I don't think he'll be saying much, but I mean, if he wants to add anything, he can. So we're not going to do news and notes, but we'll just go through week 1 game, starting with, obviously, the Texans and the Chiefs. I was hoping it'd be a good game, but obviously it didn't necessarily turn out that way. And I'm sorry you have to relive this, Naqeeb, but we'll get through it quickly. So, right. Go ahead. What do you got to say about it?
Okay, so originally I was like really, really pissed off, right? Because I was expecting so much from the Texans. But then Zain made me realize something that I completely forgot to think about, this aspect of it. And that aspect is the Chiefs, they had their entire team from last year playing again. Same scheme, same offense, same coaches, same everything. The Texans, however, were going in with 3 huge new pieces on offense. A completely new offensive play caller who's never called a game in his life. And a new defensive play caller who has also never called a game in his life.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Bill O'Brien's an offensive mind, right?
Yeah.
He's an offensive dude. So basically the defensive coordinator, if he changes, that scheme is changing. Mm-hmm. Right? So, like, Bill O'Brien's not going to be like, oh, yeah, we're keeping the scheme from the old guy.
Yeah.
You know, so
the thing is, what he was trying to do is he was trying to mix a little bit of Romer Cornell and Rex Ryan and, like, do a hybrid defense, which we kind of saw in the first drive when they were actually, like, sending blitzes and stuff like that. They were disguising it. Like, I don't know if you watched it because you were at work.
No, I watched it.
But, like, the first part, you know what I'm talking about, right? When they were, like, sending different blitzes and different coverages and stuff. And I don't know, for some reason, I honestly don't know what was going on here, but they had Justin Reed playing corner and Lonnie playing safety, which I really don't understand why they would do that, since Justin Reed is a safety and Lonnie is a corner. So why are you switching them? Stop. Put them back to where they're supposed to be. Let them play. Anyways, but yeah. So they were in there with a new offensive scheme, new defensive coordinator, and new defensive scheme. And then they had the 3 big new pieces on offense. Not to mention, this was a COVID offseason, which means they had all virtual offseason, basically, up until training camp, which they actually had, like, face-to-face.
And this is every team.
Yeah, this is every team. But the thing is that the Texans are in a different position, as actually some other teams are too, in which that they have a whole new look on their offense and defense.
Right.
And so to expect them to automatically click and take down the reigning Super Bowl champions, that was wishful thinking on my part.
Yeah.
That was definitely wishful thinking. But I do think that eventually, like within a couple of weeks, they will click. And when they do click, that's when they're going to start.
The question is, will they be able to click fast enough to be able to, be in position to kind of get into the playoffs?
I think they can. I mean,
because obviously this area where they're not clicking is going to hurt them for the division. So they might not win the division because of it, but they could still make the playoffs. They have a chance.
The thing is that the reason I'm still confident in the Texans is because 2 seasons ago when they started 0-3, everyone was like, "Oh, yep, the Texans are done. There's no way they can win. No way they were gonna freaking make the playoffs." Like apparently, like the last team that made the playoffs after an 0-3 start was like in 1969 or something like that, 1968 or something.
Right.
And so everyone was like, oh, yeah, it's not going to happen. And then Deshaun Watson takes them on a 9-game win streak, which has never happened in NFL history.
Which I also got to mention, Deshaun Watson wasn't really himself, in my opinion.
The offense, because there was one of the big reasons for that was because Zach Fulton. No. Yeah, it wasn't that. Well, I mean that could be an aspect.
Think about it. Look,
but that definitely could be an aspect. I'm not gonna lie, because he's been used to it, and like I said, that falls back to like what I said about a whole new offense. It's gonna take time to clip, but the one thing is that Chris Jones was eating the shit out of freaking Zach Fulton.
Zach Fulton was a liability.
Was literally letting so much pressure go to Deshaun Watson, and the offensive line basically fell apart. So yeah.
All I gotta add is basically we talked about this with the wide receivers, because now the only really bright spot of DeAndre Hopkins being gone was that would force Deshaun Watson to kind of spread the ball around and help open that offense up a little bit. The problem is not only partially because there was and hopefully it's because Deshaun Watson doesn't have the chemistry with his new receivers, but he basically just replaced DeAndre Hopkins with Will Fuller, and Will Fuller is not the caliber of like receiver DeAndre Hopkins is. No. So he's not going to be able to replicate that playmaking ability, those big catches. So
the big catches were made by him, but the catches.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So and Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb, they just aren't there yet. So it's either they're not clicking, they haven't clicked yet, or Deshaun Watson is still in that mode where he has to force it to a number one receiver, which he does not have really anymore.
I think we're going to get a better idea after week 2 about what this offense
Let's see what they do against the Ravens. We'll talk about that. We got to mention, David Johnson actually had a pretty decent game.
Yeah, he did. Was actually, I saw a stat that David Johnson had the highest run yard per game average in the NFL in week 1 with 7 yards per average.
All right, cool. Moving on to the Jets and Bills. Obviously, the Bills just destroyed them.
Obviously.
We got first off, I got to give props to Frank Gore.
37 still playing
at a running back, which is crazy insanity. Jameson Crowder had a big breakout game for the Jets, which really helped me in fantasy, but obviously not them, win the game. Josh Allen, the Bills are looking legit. They're in a fairly easy division, to be honest, because the Patriots aren't really as explosive as before. And who they have? They have the Dolphins and the Jets, which they just played. So obviously the Jets aren't doing so hot. So the Bills got a really good chance of doing something in the playoffs, but
they're definitely winning the division.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I predicted that.
What's it called? Let's see. Stephon Diggs played pretty well. 8 receptions, 86 yards. This is the big thing. So I don't want to go back to the Texans thing, but I just got to mention Stephon Diggs was traded to the Bills, right? But he and Josh Allen still had a connection going. So the fact that Deshaun Watson and the Brandon Cooks and them didn't is slightly worrying. But like I said, sometimes it takes some time. But I just wanted to mention that. But the Bills' defense, this would surprise me. Bills' defense was actually pretty good. I thought they were average at best. Imaad said they were going to be pretty good.
I said they were pretty good.
You said they were going to be pretty good. I didn't think so, and I was very wrong.
I mean, their defense is what took them to the playoffs last year.
I'd say Josh Allen.
No, it was not Josh Allen. Josh Allen.
I mean, he was inaccurate, but he made big plays though.
Yeah, but it was definitely their defense that took them there.
But yeah, I was very wrong on that. But do you have anything to add about the Jets and Bills?
No.
But solid start for the Bills. Here we go. Packers and Vikings. Aaron Rodgers, crazy. 4 touchdowns, 364 yards. Insanity. Aaron Jones had a pretty good game. Davante Adams had a monster game. Just their whole team was on point.
I'm telling you, this is gonna be Aaron Rodgers' revenge season. He's gonna dominate on the Packers, and he's gonna trade.
Obviously, Adam Thielen came up big for me, so shout out to Adam Thielen in fantasy. Dalvin Cook, he had 50 yards, which isn't great, but he was, I guess, sharing carries. Did Dalvin Cook get injured in that game?
No, I didn't.
Okay, because he was sharing the load with Alexander Madison, which is weird because Dalvin Cook's they're back, So that was weird to me. They just paid him a 5-year contract.
Oh, speaking of contracts, Robert Woods also got a contract.
That's right. Yeah, we'll talk about him in a second. But yeah, so obviously the Vikings, they obviously scored. They put up points, but they weren't able to beat the Packers. And it looks like I will be wrong with the division prediction that I made that the Vikings would win. But yeah, you want to know anything about the Packers-Vikings?
No, except for the fact that I still think Aaron Rodgers is loading up the Packers and then he's going to get traded to the Bears and just dominate.
I don't think he's going to get traded.
Well, he's going to...
Because this is the last year of his contract, right? I think we talked about that. Might be. But, yeah.
It doesn't matter. The point is he's going to end up on the Bears and destroy them.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Packers in the Super Bowl.
But actually, the quick note is that actually Aaron Rodgers has been very helpful to Jordan Love. In the quarterback room and stuff.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean,
he even if while he was playing or whatever he saw on film.
Yeah.
If he saw something, even while the coaches was talking, he'd be in the room with them.
Right.
And if he saw something, then he'd make sure to point out, yo, you did this wrong. You should have done this. This would have helped you. So he's been very helpful, according to Matt LaFleur.
Well, that's good. All right, moving on. Eagles and football team. The big upset. Big upset. Where did this come from? Carson Wentz, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The rushing game was pretty poor.
They were playing for Ron Rivera.
For Ron Rivera? Oh, the football team, yeah. Dallas Goedert had a pretty big game, but overall, it just wasn't.
I still can't believe the football team won.
Dwayne Haskins didn't play great, but I mean, won.
He still owns the division technically at this point.
Yeah, so that's true. Their rushing game wasn't anything to talk about either.
Technically, he is better than Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones, and...
I bet it felt good getting beat by the football team.
What does that mean? Okay.
Just imagine getting beat by a team
called
the football team.
Didn't we put a meme up on our Instagram?
Yeah,
by the way, follow us on Instagram.
At 3EDIOTS Podcast.
3 spelled out.
__.
Yeah. Yeah. Peyton Barber had a really garbage game. I know that. But he had 2 touchdowns, though. So, I mean, I guess good for him.
Works on fantasy.
It's like Trent Richardson in, the XFL. His yards per carry were garbage, but he'd be used on goal line, so he had, a shit ton of touchdowns. But
who did he play for?
The Birmingham Iron.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
See, all I paid attention to was the Roughnecks, because they dominated. Which, by the way, their quarterback... The Roughnecks quarterback and the Roughnecks star receivers are both on the Panthers.
Which is pretty cool. The Raiders. We will talk about that. But yeah, I don't understand. I don't know what this means for the football team. I still don't think they're good. But not. The fact that the Eagles lost to them, that is bad sign.
But the thing is that one of those teams is gonna win, and so
But you would think it'd be the Eagles.
Yeah, you would. They had a lot of situations with their wide receiver with Alshon Jeffrey.
That's true. That's true. There are rumors about that.
So there's and plus they had injuries. Miles Sanders wasn't playing, and so other than the huge conspiracy theories and everything that was going on in Washington, or not conspiracy either because they were proven. So
right,
all the allegations and all the stuff that their office was dealing with. Other than that, they didn't have any major injuries or anything that would hinder them in any way on the field.
Right. But good for the football team. Mm-hmm. What?
The football team. Think about losing to someone who doesn't even have a name.
It's just crazy. All right, moving on. The Ravens ass fucking the Browns. Do we really need to talk about that? No. Yeah, we can talk about that.
It was pretty obvious. The Browns suck. So.
Baker Mayfield didn't play well. Kareem Hunt played pretty well. So did Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb was playing pretty well.
There was a lot of people saying Baker Mayfield was playing like a rookie.
Someone actually predicted that the Browns was going to win, right?
Yeah. Oh, we forgot to mention who got the picks.
Because I think Imaad was the one who predicted that the Browns was going to win.
Yeah, he had you guys, okay. It's okay. I'll mark the episode as explicit anyway. But you guys see the thing about it? Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
You see it? No.
Okay. So apparently Odell Beckham, like there was a rumor that went out, like because of a podcast or whatever. I told you about this.
Not like an interview for his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. Odell Beckham likes to get shit on.
Oh yes, you did tell me about that.
Yeah.
Like his kink is that he likes to get shit on. Like,
but yeah,
that was funny.
Weird people like weird things. What can you say?
I guess
Odell Beckham is a weird person.
that's true. Let me pull up where did I write him?
This might be an unpopular opinion, but I think Odell Beckham is really like he's a clown. Like he needs to stop.
Of course he's a clown.
No, like I mean like clown in a bad way.
I mean, of course in a bad way.
I mean, how I mean clown like a funny person or a good person or whatever. I mean like
Antonio Brown is a clown, but he's like a worse clown. All right, just going through real quick. Okay, for the Texans Chiefs, we made predictions. You said the Texans. You obviously talked about why you thought that, why you were wrong. Imaad, Numair correctly get the Chiefs. You had me sucking the Kool-Aid, so I said tie. I didn't get as bad as you where I actually said the Texans, but I said tie. So
technically you don't win.
Yeah, I technically don't win. What's it called? Redskins, Eagles. You said the Eagles. I said the Eagles. You said the Eagles. Imaad said the freaking football team. I don't know what this dude...
You got lucky.
I guess.
I feel like he just said that as just a
I
joke. I don't think he actually...
I don't know. He loves Ron Rivera, and he just loves the fact that they're called the football team, so he picked them.
Dude, so remember last season when I kept picking the Dolphins? And like 5 games they actually won?
That's what... Last year, we did the same thing with these picks, right? It wasn't for the podcast, it was just between us. And for some reason, he just loves the Dolphins so much. And
I just kept picking the Dolphins, and they actually won 5 games. And I was like 5 games on top of him, so the Dolphins helped me.
But, hold on one second. Oh, shit, I wasn't recording.
And the thing is, at that point, the Dolphins were apparently trying to tank.
I wasn't recording. I turned on the recording to record you talking about the Whataburger dude. And then I forgot to stop it. And then when we started the podcast, I actually pressed it, but instead of starting it, it stopped the recording that I started for the... That's all right. Let's start over. Let's reset. I'm just fucking with you. Okay. Anyways.
Okay, I was like, wait.
Packers, Vikings. We all said Packers. Easy peasy. Who else we talk about? Browns, Ravens. We all said Ravens. Obviously, at the very... Even though you hate Lamar Jackson.
Imaad said Browns.
What?
Did he say Ravens?
Yeah, he said Ravens.
Okay, because on the Snapchat he said Browns. I don't know
That's
if you remember
for
seeing that.
Okay,
it's for the coming season. Okay.
The
coming
Thursday
week,
night game.
Yeah. Okay.
She was right.
Yeah. And then we all said Bills, so that's all good. So I think that's all the games we've covered so far.
The Jets cornerback Tremaine Johnson got picked up by somebody on their practice squad.
Oh, okay.
I never thought Tremaine Johnson would be on a practice.
Yeah, a lot of veterans. It's kind of weird.
He's a pretty good player.
I mean, he's old now, though.
But, I mean, still. Like, the thing is, when defensive backs get old, I mean, they play smart. Like, Jonathan Joseph lasted so long in the league. Dude was slow.
He was burnt toast slow.
He got burned a lot. But I mean,
there's nothing smarts can fix like that.
But I mean, at certain situations, like he knew how to play the ball.
That's like the North Koreans being like, "We suck, but we can beat the Americans by strategy."
But like, I don't know. He just has that DB brain. Like sometimes for a certain amount, for certain players, like I mean, if you get an overly athletic person, you're gonna get burned. But like a smart cornerback playing a smart receiver who's physical, that's not fast. I mean, yeah, he got burnt, but whenever he got burnt, it was by the faster receivers. He never got burnt by like.
Why are we talking so much about a old cornerback that's signed to a practice squad?
I'm just saying because Tremaine Johnson was on the practice squad, so I was just like, it was kind of surprising to me.
Okay, let's move on. Another big upset: Jaguars beating the Colts. Who saw this coming? Nobody. We all said Colts.
But After I saw the recaps of the game, apparently Philip Rivers threw two interceptions.
Yeah, he did not play well.
He threw wheels. I had a feeling. I don't think I said it on the podcast, but I told you that Philip Rivers is not a good fit for the Colts. I mentioned that. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that to you.
Yeah, and there's always a reason why a team has moved on from a quarterback, and sometimes it's just to that point, And I'm not saying that it's going to be like that for the rest of the season, but it's not a good sign. He did spread it out, the ball, spread out. He spread out the ball, to his receivers and everything, but it just their offense wasn't quite. It's just mistakes by Philip Rivers. The Jaguars, though, Gardner Minshew, he was a decent game manager. 3 touchdowns though, which is pretty good. James Robinson filled in pretty fairly well. So,
but this week, oh wait, no, never mind. I'm tripping. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't see the Jaguars doing much. I think this was more on Andrew Luck just being not good versus the Jaguars actually being
Philip
good.
Rivers.
Yeah.
Not Andrew Luck. Philip Rivers.
So
you said Andrew Luck.
Oh shit, I'm bad. Yeah. Sorry, Philip Rivers not being that good.
Andrew Luck retired. Get over it.
All right, this was a good game. Raiders Panthers. Look,
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
GOAT.
Everyone knows I don't like
The
Derek
GOAT.
Carr, but he played well. He managed the game like he was supposed to. He made some deep passes. We had Henry Ruggs. He challenged them deep, and that basically told them, like, hey, we need to be careful. But once Henry Ruggs got injured, which I think he's going to be okay.
He came back, though, didn't he?
He did, but he didn't get in catches after that. Obviously, the knee was bothering him. There was a lot of injuries. The Raiders are actually, that game kind of hurt the Raiders because we lost our middle linebacker or inside linebacker, who was our defensive signal caller. So he's out. He's out for about 2 more weeks.
Did they put him on IR?
No. So that's a good sign. It isn't anything major. He didn't tear his pec.
Speaking of injuries, what happened in week 1? So many big players got injured.
It's because COVID. There wasn't, for one.
George Kittle got injured. Le'Veon Bell got injured.
It's just, that's what happens when you go from
being at home, stay at home.
Yeah, stay at home, and then not a full off season.
I expected that.
And then to full go football.
Your body doesn't get the chance to
I understand
get
that,
back
but
into.
I did not expect all these big name players to just start dropping flies.
It's tough. But obviously it shows that preseason has a place in football.
I just hope, I know this is going back to the Texans. I'm really sorry. But I really hope Duke Johnson starts against the Baltimore Ravens.
So David Johnson?
No, he starts.
Because he's injured.
Because the thing is that he's actually never missed a game in his career,
okay.
And so I don't want him to break that streak,
Right.
So I really do hope he plays.
Okay. But yeah, Raiders Panthers. Obviously, both the teams' defenses played like trash. It was just pretty much who scored last. I got to give it up for Daniel Carlson, the Raiders kicker. He played really well, made some long field goals. The decision at the end by Ron Rivera to not use Christian McCaffrey on a 4th and 1 cost Ron Rivera. Matt Rule, right? Yeah. The decision not to use Christian McCaffrey on a 4th and 1, that was terrible.
That's retarded.
Yeah. They used their fullback. It worked before in the game. And it just, I don't know. But hey, the Raiders won. I'm a Raiders fan. That's on them. I don't care. But obviously, the Raiders have to fix their issues. We lost. There's actually a controversy going on with the Raiders right now. Trent Brown, a right tackle, one of our highest paid players. Apparently, his injury isn't that bad, but there's some There's some rumors that maybe his heart's not in it because there was pictures of him. In the locker room afterwards and in the game before during the national anthem, right? All the Raiders players linked hands, but he was behind them alone. In the locker room, everyone, celebrating the win, had their hands together in the circle thing, but the picture showed him in the back toward the lockers by himself. So there's something going on. I don't know what it is exactly. Maybe it's overblown, but there is something going on with Trent Brown. But he didn't even last 3 snaps in the game. We put in our backup tackle. He's injured now. we started our backup right guard, and he actually played surprisingly well.
Wait, did Trent Brown get injured?
Apparently, he's been dealing with an injury, and he's 400.
So, I can see why that would derail somebody,
No, but this was before the game, though. Like, there was still stuff before the game and stuff like that. Like,
so the injury happened in the game.
Yeah, and like, apparently he's been having issues throughout camp, but the injury doesn't seem so severe that like he should be like taking this long to heal. And it's possible that just because of how big he is, like he's a 400-pound dude, like just takes
and because
that
of the
long.
COVID off season,
that
like rehab could have been.
I mean, but that's the thing though. Some people are. The rumor is that he's not taking his rehab as seriously as he should, which is why it's taking him so long to heal. But we don't know anything else about it. But yeah, that's pretty much it about the Raiders. Let's see. We got oh, by the way, who did we pick for the Raiders?
I know I picked the Raiders.
Yeah, you picked the Panthers. Everyone else picked the Raiders. Numair, you picked the Panthers. Yeah. But yeah, moving on. Bears Lions. I am shocked. Mitchell Trubisky played fairly well. 3 touchdowns, 242 yards. Just overall, Tariq Cohen, David Montgomery combined for pretty good.
They won, right?
They won 27-23.
Then I picked the Bears.
Anthony Miller had a really good game. Isn't there talk about Allen Robinson being traded?
Mm-hmm. Apparently now they're he said that he wants Allen Robinson reportedly he wants a contract that's upwards of $18 million
per year. Mm-hmm. I don't know about that. I mean, it's not like they're going to be paying.
With the wide receivers now starting to get paid.
That's true.
I mean, DeAndre Hopkins just got paid. Robert Woods got paid.
Stephon Diggs
got paid. So now that all the wide receivers are getting, I mean, it's the same thing with quarterbacks. Like if a quarterback is played, right? Like Deshaun Watson. I'm using him as an example right now.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson got paid like what? 40 million a year, 39 million a year.
Yeah, something like that.
Now when like Kirk later on in the cap space, when like friggin' Josh Allen needs a contract, he's gonna want a contract bigger than Deshaun Watson, so he's gonna want to get paid more than him.
Right.
And so if the team is in a situation where they have to pay him, then they're gonna have to pay him what he wants,
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing with wide receivers. Now that everyone's starting to get paid, their value is going up. He's like, all right, my value should also go up. And so,
yeah.
I mean, do I agree with him getting $18 million a year? Not necessarily, but do I understand why he's asking for $18 million a year?
Yeah.
100%.
Gotta give a shout out to Adrian Peterson. He's younger than Frank Gore.
My dude.
Like he got cut from the football team. He gets signed by the Lions, and then he puts up 93 yards, 6.6 yards per carry. Like that's pretty good for.
That was actually number 2.
Yeah. So I mean that's pretty good. Danny Amendola is still kicking around. But yeah, it's
man. If only the Lions had Calvin Johnson.
And let me tell you, the Bears were down by it was 6-23 at the end of the third quarter. The Bears came back, posted 21 points in the fourth quarter. Detroit Lions 0. So I don't know if there's an injury or what, but their defense really let them down.
Matt Patricia is a horrible head coach, which he is. I mean, come on, he's a horrible head coach.
What are
he's on the hot seat right now.
What was his record last year?
The Lions?
Yeah,
like 4 and something.
Was it really? Was it really that bad?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Lions.
I mean, but the Lions. Matt Stafford was injured, so I mean, you can like.
Oh, that's true. Who's playing? Who's his backup? Who's playing?
It was Alex. No, not Alex Magoo. It was Was it Alex Magoo?
Might have been. No. Didn't they just draft him?
No, Alex Magoo was on the Texans, I believe, as his third. I don't know.
Chase Daniel?
We're sorry, we're doing this at night, so we're all tired.
Yeah. But, anyways.
Yeah, that means at the end you can say goodnight.
Yeah, now you can say goodnight.
Good night.
All right, but we'll continue on. Congrats to Mitch Trubisky and the Bears. Hopefully he can turn his career.
Who do we all pick?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I messed up, right? When I was writing it down, I wrote Imaad and Numair chose the Bears. Numair is obviously Naqeeb's brother, just to be clear. I chose Lions, which was a smart pick, but obviously it didn't work out. And I wrote Naqeeb picked Imaad. So I forgot to change that, so I don't know who you picked.
I picked the Bears.
Did you?
I did.
Okay.
I was high on the Bears defense. I've been high on the Bears defense. Right. I told you this. We already talked about this on Snapchat.
Okay. But yeah, that didn't. So yeah, I was the only one wrong there. But yeah, moving forward, Seahawks and Falcons. Let me tell you, I don't know what it is about the Falcons, but I just don't trust them. I don't
know. I mean, the Falcons, as much as I hate to say it, they're a garbage time offense. Like they actually like explode in garbage time.
I mean, they were okay. At halftime, the score was 14-12 with the Seahawks up by 2. Then you might be right because they were up by like 28-12 at the end of the third quarter, and then they put up 13 points and kind of closed the gap. But the Seahawks still scored 10. Obviously, this is a case of
that was the whole thing last year with the Falcons. I mean, they picked it up at the end of the season, like towards the end.
Yeah.
Like they started picking up some wins, but at that point it was too late.
By any chance, do you guys have a laptop like charging cable?
For that laptop, no. We use MacBooks over here.
How much battery do you have?
10%. All right, we'll speed this up a little bit. But yeah, no.
You don't have a charger in your bag?
Look, no, I left it because I thought when I saw it originally, I thought I'd be able to make it. Because I didn't know freaking you guys were about to get food and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, either way, you weren't using
the laptop was closed.
Yeah.
I mean, still a difference.
I don't know. Fuck. I don't know. Anyways,
food is very good.
Yes, Whataburger was very good.
But yeah,
Wendy's chicken nuggets.
We all said Seahawks except Imaad said Falcons. He was high on the Falcons. I don't understand why.
He just likes Matt Ryan,
I guess. But Russell Wilson, obviously, he was electric. He only threw 4 incompletions. DK Metcalf, obviously electric. So Chris Carson did pretty well. Not necessarily rushing, but just receiving wise. But yeah, Jamal Adams had a really big game. 8 tackles, 4 assists, 1 sack. So.
Big news with the Colts, by the way. I forgot to mention this. Marlon Mack is injured.
Okay, we'll talk about that when we go over
our
game picks. Which, by the way, hold on, let me
your
turn down my.
Computer lives that long.
Yeah, if my computer lives that long. Hold on, can I turn down my brightness?
You should have a key on top on the F keys to turn down the brightness.
You know, there should be. Here, let me turn down. Fucking.
It's gonna be. What the hell?
Yeah. Wait, can I turn? I don't know. Hold up. There's gotta be a display.
No, we're having some technical difficulties.
Turn that down.
Put a battery too.
Because Zane's dumbass forgot to charge his laptop. Like he always forgets to charge his phone. Because he's a moron.
Alright, but okay, so moving on, we got the Patriots Dolphins. Cam Newton had a pretty good game.
I mean, they were playing the Dolphins.
That's true. That's true.
Really.
But Ryan Fitzpatrick.
That was your team though, last season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, he was just trying to piss me off. That's what it was. But Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I think I was trolling. But it worked out for me, so why not, right?
Fitzmagic did not work out at the start of this. 3 interceptions. It was very bad.
I mean, he didn't, but I mean, you gotta admit, dude is a really good, like, 1-year quarterback for people.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, of course.
Like,
but he, like, I think part of the issue was I think he was getting sacked a lot. No, he wasn't. Never mind. That was a stupid thing. He only got sacked once, but it just wasn't a good game. Cam Newton played pretty well. 155 yards. He didn't throw a touchdown, but he ran for 2. So he was pretty much their rushing attack, to be honest. So, like, I mean, it's Bill Belichick, you know? Like, what are you gonna do against the Dolphins? We'll see how the Patriots stand up to the Bills. That'll be a big game and one to look forward to. But you got anything to say about the Dolphins Patriots? Nope. Okay. Moving on. Chargers Bengals. Oh, just to, the Dolphins Patriots. Let me look at our picks here. Dolphins Patriots. I said Patriots. Everyone else said Dolphins. Y'all are fucking retarded. So that's a point for me. Oops. Fuck y'all. Anyways, Chargers Bengals.
I don't know why I said Dolphins. I mean, Patriots is my team.
You're just following whatever me and Imaad are doing.
No, he went off a little bit.
I mean, for that one.
Like you said,
Why did you choose the Dolphins over the Patriots?
Why did you?
I actually don't know. I don't know why I would have chosen. Are you sure you wrote that down right though?
Yes,
I don't think I would have chose.
No, you chose the Dolphins.
Really?
Yep.
Why did I choose the Dolphins over the Patriots? Because one, the Patriots have Cam Newton, who's a new quarterback, and I thought their whole entire scheme was based around like Tom Brady and
Patriots aren't your team. Tom Brady is your team.
Technically, yeah.
But anyway, the biggest thing was because so many people from the Patriots opted out.
Okay, I see.
So I just figured that, I just thought the Dolphins had a better chance.
It's Bill Belichick, man. You can't doubt the mastermind. But let's move on. Chargers Bengals. I said Bengals. Everyone else said Chargers. Chargers won.
Obviously.
What do you mean?
Of
Obviously,
course.
Barely. It's just by 3 points. It wasn't
A
exactly
win's a win by 1 point or 100 points.
That's fair.
Jo jeeta wo Sikandar.
That means whoever wins
Is the winner.
is the winner.
Joe Mixon was pretty disappointing, to be honest. Tyrod Taylor, he played well enough. Austin Eckler played pretty well. Joshua Kelly, he's a rookie, right? Joshua Kelly. Yeah, he played pretty well. So I don't think the Chargers are going to be doing anything this season. But they beat the Bengals.
I don't think the Bengals are gonna be. Oh, Bengals freaking apparently for a quarterback who only lost one game, never lost a game back to back.
Yeah,
he lost a game back to back in the NFL.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I mean, but he's played admirably though, to be honest, like Joe Burrow. But we'll talk about that. But you guys got anything to add about the Bengals Chargers? No. All right, cool. Cardinals 49ers. I told y'all. Don't be so high on the 49ers. But Imaad and Numair chose the 49ers. The Cardinals won. Obviously, I'm not going to say the Cardinals played well, but I mean,
DeAndre Hopkins had 151 yards on 14 receptions.
Yeah. So that was insanity. But
I was honestly we were at Imaad's house watching that game, and clearly everyone saw I was rooting for DeAndre Hopkins.
No. Obviously, no one's saying that you hate him, but yeah, no. Kyler Murray pretty much ran that offense. He was the offense.
He was actually showing his.
Yeah, and obviously it's going to take more time to really get to that level where he can be a good passer, but he definitely impacted the game with his legs.
Christian Kirk was actually pretty much useless in that game.
I wouldn't say useless, but he didn't make an impact.
Yeah,
he had 1 reception for 0 yards.
Exactly,
so
useless.
But yeah, no. It's just the 49ers did not have the weapons to deal with them, or to keep up, I guess, or to be able to play better, offensively. So it just 49ers. I don't see it being a good year for them. Not because they're bad, just because the injuries have hit them really hard this season. But you got anything to add?
Nope.
No? All right.
Nope. I still think the 49ers defense is going to come back.
All right. Buccaneers Saints. This one was the big one everyone was looking for. Tom Brady, first season back. What you looking at?
Did I pick the Cardinals?
Yeah, you picked the Cardinals. Tom Brady, that's his game. That's his game against the Saints. Show him it's not Bill Belichick. It's all Tom Brady. He lost. He did not play well.
He played horrible.
There was a little bit of a controversy with.
I was very disappointed with that game.
Yeah. There was a lot of controversy with what the coach Bruce Arians said about Tom Brady. Kind of threw him under the bus there, but I mean, he has to play better. There was some talk also about how the offense wasn't fitting to what Tom Brady plays like. Like, it's not to his strengths.
Yeah, because Tom Brady, as much as he's a great quarterback, but he's never been a deep thrower.
Yeah.
I mean, he can throw deep, but he was more of that low. Stayed within the 5-10 yard zones.
Right. So I mean, it just didn't work out well for him. Doug Gronk was not himself. And I don't know why people expected him to be the old Gronk.
I didn't expect that.
But he's coming back from retirement. I doubt he was even thinking about playing football. But once Tom Brady left New England, then he was like, "Oh yeah, sure, now I can do." So it just doesn't work like that. And obviously,
I mean, he was being a cheerleader for the Lakers. So I mean,
yeah, it just does not work like that. The hype was definitely real, and that this game blew it all away. Saints obviously just, they played well.
They just handled their business.
Yeah, exactly. Alvin Kamara didn't play well, though. The rushing game was pretty bad. But overall, they won. So, I mean, what are you going to do?
What were the picks?
We definitely didn't all pick.
No, I chose Buccaneers.
Yeah, you chose the Bucks. Imaad chose the Bucks. Naqeeb, you and I picked the Saints. So, I need to compile all the points. But yeah, Cowboys Rams is up next. You got anything to say about the Buccaneers Saints? No? All right. Cowboys Rams.
Oh, Saints. Michael Thomas is injured.
Oh yeah. He's out against.
So that's really good for you.
Yeah, it is. How are we looking? We're not gonna make it.
Does it automatically save if it dies or?
Ooh. Save if it dies. I'll save it. We'll be done before it dies. Okay. If it dies, let's see if we can meet up tomorrow morning. Because the store opens at 12, right? Okay, cool. So we can meet tomorrow morning. Would that be okay?
No, but what I'm saying is, if it's about to die, you can save it, and we can use one of our laptops to finish the recording, and then we can send it to you.
That works. I mean, do you have we need the...
Yeah, but we need USB ports. 3 of them.
Wait, not even that. We need...
I have a hub for that. That's not a problem.
We need we need a software that records 3 mics separately.
Well, I mean, if what software are you using? We can just download it.
It's VB. It's Banana. We'll get to it.
So
wait. Let's do this.
You guys
real
keep
quick.
doing this.
What game are we doing? Okay, Cowboys Rams. So Dak Prescott, he played pretty well. Obviously, wasn't able to get it through. Ezekiel Elliott was himself,
which is pretty much good for Imaad because he was playing Dak and Zeke.
Yeah, but
he was crying because
Jared Goff is officially a system QB in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just say this about that game. I was actually very, very disappointed in the Cowboys. I mean, losing to the Rams, come on. They ran all over them, man.
Malcolm Brown had a really good game.
They had no answer for that run game. And if that run game tears them up, dude, they're in a freaking division with Miles Sanders and
he's injured.
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley might be an issue. Honestly, that division is not very good.
It's not. It really isn't.
So, I mean, really the only team is the
even
Cowboys,
last
and they
year,
just lost to the Rams.
a lot of fans were actually mad that
Okay, so we're gonna be continuing this. It's Sunday. We were doing this last night, and Naqeeb forgot to bring the charger. So
this is your laptop. What do you mean?
Yeah,
I forgot to bring the charger for your laptop.
Yes.
Shut the fuck.
So we basically had to. I went home, and we have come back here today on game day, and we're gonna review last 3 games: Steelers, Giants, Titans, Broncos, Bengals, Browns, and then we'll go to today's games, and we'll go from there. But okay, so we were doing the Cowboys Rams before it cut out, but now we're on the Steelers and Giants. Steelers won 26-16.
That was apparent.
Yeah,
everybody should have guessed Steelers on that one.
Let me see.
I mean, I can see why somebody would choose the Giants. I'm pretty sure I chose Steelers, but I can see because Ben Roethlisberger was coming off an injury, So, like, no one was expecting them to, like... But I trusted their defense too much.
Imaad chose the Giants.
What?
Yeah. So...
Imaad's an idiot.
Honestly,
Imaad's an idiot, actually.
Ben Roethlisberger played really well. Benny Snell surprised me. He played really well.
He's on your fantasy.
Juju Smith just continuing what he's been doing. Joe Hayden's still playing pretty well. But yeah,
TJ Watt had an interception.
Naqeeb is giving me Aaron Rodgers from his fantasy.
Wait, what?
Daniel Jones, he's not playing on a good team right now.
Danny Dimes.
He just, I mean, he has Saquon Barkley, but as far as like receivers go, it's not all that great. Darius Slayton played pretty well, but overall it just wasn't ideal. And Saquon Barkley did not play well at all. He got a lot of receiving yards, but he had 6 yards rushing.
Well, I mean, that's expected. I mean, like I said, that Steelers defense is no joke.
But Saquon Barkley? Like,
But
even good
Steelers
defenses
defense,
have
dude.
trouble. I get that, but Saquon Barkley, like, he's supposed to be one of the best running
And
backs
plus,
in the NFL.
this is the first game after COVID, so you can't really, like,
That's true.
blame the dude.
But still,
But
if
was
anything,
bad, but,
the
like-
advantage
But it's
should be
the first game after COVID for the defense also.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
all the same
and honestly,
rules
it
apply.
should be like the defense has the advantage in that kind of matchup because whenever you're running the ball, it's the defense that's getting gassed. But he had 15 carries for 6 yards.
Oh, jeez, never mind.
0.4 yards per carry. So that's not good. That's bad. We'll see how he does today against. Who's he playing today? We talked about it. He's playing the Bears. He should be able to come back.
I mean, that Bears defense is pretty nasty.
Is it? I mean,
by Khalil
it's.
Mack.
I mean, Khalil Mack. It'll be interesting to see how Khalil Mack performs. I don't think he got a sack last game. And this isn't me being a salty Raiders fan. It's just an observation that Khalil Mack hasn't, ever since he got traded the year, after that year, he just really hasn't like been what we expect from Khalil Mack, you know. But he's obviously talented, so
Sounds like
hopefully.
a salty Raiders fan.
No, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
he needs to pick it up a notch. But okay, going on.
Titans.
Tennessee Titans. That's what I was trying to say.
Tennessee Titans?
Titans versus the Broncos. The Titans won 16-14.
Unfortunately.
This was kind of a garbage game, to be honest. I don't think either offense wasn't exactly inspiring to me.
I am very, very disappointed in the Broncos because they still lost. The Titans still beat them, even though the Titans had 4 missed field goals.
4 missed field goals by
How
Steven
the
Gostkowski.
Hell,
That's garbage.
That game, dude.
And I mean, everyone this is me absolutely being a biased Raiders fan, but everyone was talking about how Drew Lock is going to be amazing, but he didn't shit the bed, but he definitely didn't win the game for him.
Well, obviously.
So I mean, yeah, it's not. It didn't.
I mean, I feel like if Von Miller was playing, that game could have gone a lot different.
That's true. You're absolutely right, but he wasn't, and every team has to deal with injuries, but they weren't.
But I mean, that's a really major. I mean, that's their best defensive player.
The Chargers lost Derwin James. They still won.
Well, yeah, but I mean, who were the Chargers playing?
Who were they playing? Short-term memory. The Bengals.
The Bengals. Oh wait, yeah. Well, yeah, that's the Bengals, dude.
But still, I mean, they have AJ Green. They have who was it? Tyler Boyd.
That's pretty much it.
No. They got someone else.
John Ross.
John Ross. They had CJ Uzuma. He was injured now, by the way. Season ending, which sucks. I need to make sure my fantasy team's set. Okay. But yeah, okay. So last game is technically week 2, but we're gonna cover it now since we did a little bit late. Bengals Browns. Browns really came back from that ass kicking from the Ravens, and that's admirable. Joe Burrow played really well despite losing.
I mean, he lost 2 back-to-back games.
I mean, true, but he still has played well. I mean, and he he threw the ball 60 times. Okay, what was that? Okay, we were talking about the Bengals Browns. Nick Chubb had a really good game though. He was running all over that defense. Kareem, actually, their entire rushing offense. Oh yeah, Kareem Hunt did too. So their entire rushing offense was great. Odell Beckham had a really great catch that night. So like the Browns at least showed the toughness to come back from getting their asses handed to them and coming back to, like beat the Bengals. Obviously the Bengals just aren't a good enough team yet, but Joe Burrow is showing a lot of signs that he's ready. And it's not too big for him because, like I said, he threw 61 passes. That is insane of a load for a rookie quarterback in their second game in the NFL. So,
but I'm gonna stick to my thing that I've said this before to you before we started doing the podcast. I don't ever crown quarterbacks too early or say anything too good about rookie quarterbacks because of the fact that I want to see what they do in the future. I don't want them to.
That's a cop out. That's a cop out.
It's not. No, I said the same thing for Deshaun Watson. I said the same thing for Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, well you got.
I say that for everybody. I don't
give me your prediction though.
I could predict, but I'm not gonna be like, okay, yeah, this guy's gonna be the future, future of the NFL or something.
Sure.
Until he doesn't play a couple seasons.
So what do you think about Joe Burrow?
I think he's a good quarterback. I think from what I see, if he continues to play how he is playing, I can see him becoming a Ben Roethlisberger type quarterback.
Do you think he can be better than Ben Roethlisberger or Deshaun Watson?
He can be better. He could actually be better than Deshaun Watson too. I see it.
You think he could be better than Lamar Jackson?
I think he could be better. He could be the best quarterback in the NFL. Okay. We don't know yet. It's 2 games.
All right. Okay. So that was the last game of our.
Patrick Mahomes threw 50 touchdowns in his MVP year.
That's true.
He'll throw 70. You never know.
That. Please no, don't say that.
I mean, come on. Can you really say right now that he won't do that?
No, but don't say that.
I'm just saying. You can't say anything about a quarterback who after 2 games. You gotta wait a couple seasons before you can say what they're gonna be.
Well, obviously, then you already know what they're gonna be. Anyways, let's end this. Okay. So that was our week 1 review.
And 1 game of week 2.
And 1 game of week 2. Moving forward, we want to record and get the podcast out at least by Wednesday.
The Browns and Bengals. Who do y'all choose?
Oh yeah. Let me see.
I chose the Bengals, I'm pretty sure.
I wrote it down.
I think I chose the Bengals too.
Yeah, I chose the Bengals, I'm pretty sure.
Shit. I'm going to have to scroll up on Snapchat.
Wait, didn't that game already happen?
Yeah, this last Thursday. Let me scroll up.
Did Imaad send you his game pick?
He said Browns. Imaad said Browns, and then I said Bengals, you said Bengals, and then Zain, it was yours. I don't know, you don't need posters on there.
I said Bengals.
Okay.
So
Imaad was the only one who was right.
Yeah. But yeah. So that honestly, I was surprised. I thought Joe Burrow could take it out, especially at the Browns.
I mean, he did make a comeback, but
yeah, they did, and the 30-35. But
yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah. But yeah, so moving forward, we want to try and record and get the podcast uploaded by at least Wednesday afternoon. Moving forward, then
because this week there was a lot of schedules mixing up and stuff, and so this week was kind of hectic for everybody. But we should be a more consistent basis.
Yeah,
depending on a certain situation.
Right. So obviously, you won't be able to get this episode, or we'll be talking about today's games right after this. We'll be posting that, but people will probably hear it after the games, to be honest, which sucks, but it's what we're dealing with right now. But yeah, follow us on Instagram, 3_idiots_podcast, and 3 is spelled out, idiots with an E.
And subscribe to us on YouTube, and that's 3EDIOTS, 3 with an idiots with an E, and 3 just a number.
Yep. But yeah. Have a good day and
have a good night.
No, it's shut up.
We clearly said it's not night anymore.
Yeah. You had the opportunity.
What if they're watching it at night?
Well, in that case, they can tell themselves good night.
We're gonna keep having this argument at the end of every episode.
Good day and good night.
No. Shut up.
This podcast was sponsored by Elevated Communications LLC, a company that manages Verizon wireless stores. Right now, go see them at 13513 University Boulevard, Sugar Land, Texas, 77479 for great service that has you covered. Go right now and tell them 3EDIOTS podcast sent you, and you will get 10% off accessories.